What's going on, everybody? King of Dragons 5000 here, coming at you with another figure review. Today we'll be having a look at the Hasbro Marvel Legends Spider-Man Retro Series, the Kingpin. And so here we have Kingpin posing out of the packaging. Before we take a look at the figure, let's actually take a look at what he comes with. Kingpin does come with two alternate heads. He does come with the stoic neutral expression that he has on him right now. And then we also do get a battle damaged yelling face. Finally, Kingpin also does come with a cane with a really nice gem on it, and he can hold it in his right hand. Other than that, Kingpin here doesn't come with anything else. Alternate set of hands would have been nice, but the retro line is kind of light on accessories, so there is that. With that out of the way, guys, let's actually take a closer look at Kingpin. And so here we have a closer look at Kingpin, and oh my goodness, is his suit white. I don't know if it's coming off that well on camera, but from my viewfinder, it looks like he's just a head with a blue scarf and orange vest, because I cannot see the line in which his shoulders actually end. Like, he blends in with my background so well. But enough of that. Let's actually take a look at the face. The face on this figure is done exceptionally well, and this is exactly what you think of when you imagine Wilson Fisk. Or will I get in trouble for saying his name? I don't know. We'll find out. But Kingpin here does look really nice. I love the amount of detail that Hasbro put into him. It's a little bit cartoony, but this is a comic book version of the Kingpin. It would be nice if we saw an MCU version of Kingpin, but that doesn't look like it's ever going to happen. But really do like the way this head looks. The eyebrows are really defined nicely. He has these really piercing blue eyes, and his face is just big enough. It actually works for Kingpin here. Now, moving on to his outfit, he is wearing a very pristine, very white jacket, and it looks really nice. There's really hardly any flaws on mine. There's no scuffs, no nothing. It looks really nice, and like I said, I don't know how well it's coming off on camera. I think it's actually blending into my background, but it is detailed nice enough that you can actually see some wrinkles, some folds. It does look really nice, and on his arm we do have a seam line that runs down, and it's supposed to mimic the seam line that you would see on an actual suit, and it does go down into 3 buttons right here. For some reason, he has a black shirt exposed on the cuffs of his sleeves. Now, it is possible that underneath this scarf he has a black shirt on, but normally the color of shirt that you have exposed is the color of shirt you have underneath the vest. So I don't know if he's wearing a black shirt underneath the vest. It's really hard to say. But if you look right here, it looks like he's wearing a white shirt, so those cuffs should actually be white. Now, it is fully in the realm of possibility that the sleeves are only white just to hide some of the detail from the jacket, and it looks natural, but the jacket covers enough that you don't really see the secondary color poking through, so there is that, and it is a little bit distracting. We do have a handkerchief right here in his pocket, along with some buttons that are nicely sculpted right there. Some pockets we have on both sides. I don't know if these are actual pockets or if they're flaps. Some jackets like this don't actually have pockets. Those are just flaps, so it's really hard to say. His vest is done really nicely. On camera, you really can't tell, but it's 2 different colors of orange. We do have a white, or not white, but the molded orange and then painted orange, which on my camera, it's actually coming out quite nice. It does blend itself really nicely. Now, under different lights, you might see some differences. Like right at this angle, you can see that there is a little bit of contrast, but overall, it does look good. Then we go on to his purple pants, and this is probably what everybody envisions when they think of Kingpin, the purple pants and the white jacket. I don't know what it is about the Kingpin that screams classic Kingpin, and they did a really good job sculpting it for a big, hefty guy. You can see more seam lines running down his pants, which again, for dress pants, that is entirely accurate. They sculpted the part where the zipper would be underneath, and it actually has some really decent folds and wrinkles sculpted in it. Now, mine does have a little scuff right here. I was testing to see how far the articulation goes. If you do push the figure to its limits, you will end up scuffing the plastic, so do be aware of that. You might want to shave a little bit of the crotch piece down if you're going to give him more articulation because that's where that scuff came from. Then we go on to his shoes, and they do look like crocodile skin shoes. You can see the texture in it. It's a really nice leather looking shoe. Kingpin is always stylish here. And on mine, unfortunately, on the left pant leg, it is a little bit scuffed here, like it was getting out of the machine and it just rubbed against something right here. So that is a little bit unfortunate, but you're never going to see it. So overall, in terms of Marvel Legends, Kingpin here is actually done really well. I like the way he looks. He has this really big presence, no pun intended, but he does look the part, so I do like that. So with that out of the way, guys, let's actually compare Kingpin to other figures you may have in your collection. And so here we have Kingpin posed next to a Marvel Legends Cyclops and a DC Multiverse Superman. Here we do have Kingpin posed next to a WWE Elite Scale figure and a Mezco 1/12 Collective Popeye the Sailor Man. Here we have Kingpin posed next to a Lightning Collection Red Ranger and a Star Wars Black Series Mandalorian. And finally, here we do have the Kingpin posed next to a Retro Collection Spider-Man and a Marvel Legends Daredevil. So with the comparisons out of the way, let's actually move on to Kingpin's articulation. Kingpin here does have a good amount of articulation for a Marvel Legends figure. It could be better, but seeing as how he is a Build-A-Figure type body, they made do with what they had. He does have a ball joint in the head, well, a ball hinge, so he can look up about that far. That looks really good. We do have some slight up and down on that ball joint, so he does look up and down right there. Adding the hinge, he can look back that far. He can look down about that much. And we don't get any head tilt, unfortunately, and we do get side-to-side movement. Arms are on ball joints. They only go out to about that far. If you try pushing it, you will pop the arm out of the joint, so do be aware of that. He does do a full 360. We don't have a bicep swivel, but we have a swivel here at the bicep, as well as single bend. Now, because it's sculpted in this way, once you bend it and you try swiveling, it will go off at an angle, so do be aware of that. We do have a swivel hinge here at the wrist, and it works pretty good. We have a ball joint here at the torso. Now, unfortunately, it doesn't go that far forward. That's about as far forward as it goes. He leans back better than he goes forward. Does rotate. We get some slight side to side, but it's mainly going to be just for swiveling and some slight crunch. No waist swivel, but his legs do kick forward to about there, and that is the limit without pushing it. They go back about that far, which is quite respectable. Legs go out about that far, so it does work okay. We have a thigh swivel up high, single bend at the knee, giving us less than 90 degrees, as well as rotation at the knee. Then we do have a rotation here at the joint. Oh, actually, it did pop off, but you can actually see how his foot works. It's a pin going into the, the calf, and that does rotate like that. And then we also do get a hinge which goes up and down, and he would have rocker ankle. Now, the only problem with that is that he doesn't really have much room for that hinge to work. So as much as that hinge does work, we don't get too much side to side or up and down movement, which is a little bit unfortunate. So there is that. Kingpin does have some limitations, but overall he is a decent looking figure. So with that out of the way, guys, let's actually get him posed for my final thoughts, and then we'll wrap up this review. And so here we have the Retro Collection Kingpin posed for my final thoughts, and overall I think Hasbro has done a good job re-releasing this figure. Now, I do not have the original Kingpin figure to compare him with, but if memory serves me, I think the only sculpting difference on him is the collar piece. The original Kingpin has a buttoned-up collar, where this one has a scarf. Other than that, they're essentially the same figure, just with different paint apps. Me personally, I prefer this look for the Kingpin. It's not 100% accurate to the animated series, but it is a classic enough Kingpin to warrant the pickup, in my opinion. If you did miss out on the original Kingpin, who is going for about $80 to $120 secondhand market, this is a really good chance to pick up your very own Kingpin. Like I said, if you missed out on the original one, which is possible if you didn't like that array of Marvel Legend figures, he originally did run you about $120 to complete him, but having a $30 option does make him a little more easier to get hold of. I really do like the battle damaged face, although I think if I were to do this figure, I would completely omit the battle damage face and just give him a yelling face. They didn't really need to throw the battle damage, but it is welcome. So overall, I really do recommend this Kingpin if you missed out on the original one, or you're just a fan of the Spider-Man animated series and you need a Kingpin in your collection. With that being said, guys, I'm KingofDragons 5000. Don't forget to like this video, leave a comment, subscribe to my channel. Go check out all my other action figure reviews as well as all my other Marvel Legend videos. Hopefully you find them informative. As always, if there's a figure you would like to see me review, let me know down in the comments. And if it's in my collection, I'll definitely have a look at it. While you're at it, check out my Instagram account for new and exciting action figure photos. And as always, ring that bell to be notified every time I upload a video. Until next time, guys, I'll see you later. Take care, everyone.